Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of The Outer Worlds. We're going to be heading to Roseway in a moment, but the rooms have started to become populated with stuff. Photo of Pavati's father, a little hovering gadget gizmo thing. Ooh. We'll definitely loot all of Pavati's stuff that's not tied down. Spare ammo. What's this? Banged up toolbox, full of modified tools with unique mechanical uses. Digging around in here would be an easy way to lose a finger to a sawtoothed blade. Yeah. Ooh. First wrench Dad ever gave me. She's been a friend ever since. That's Abigail. Cool. The modern steel wrench anew. The book is heavily dog-eared with doodles in the margin. Got some salve and stuff. And Petunia the plant, which is not a petunia. That's cool. Right, so Pavati's room. I like it. Who's next? Oh, this is clearly the vicar. Doctrinal Studies 539 of Equity and Equations. These textbooks have been out of print for almost half a century. The margins are filled with scribbled notes and many passages have been underlined. Some pages have come loose, the glue now yellowed and cracked along the spines. This is the Journal of Maximilian de Soto, Volume 1. The scribblings in these are illegible to anyone except the vicar. Heavy ammo. Thank you. Tossable trading cards in mint condition. Most of these cards represent players from the Hephaestus Hammers and the Tilebackers. And then The Art and Science of Tossball. Impossible to put down. Order of Scientific Inquiry. Office of Literature. The endorsement has been approved. Articleo's Darlings. Signed by Seymour Whitlock, who held the record for the most on-the-field fatalities for 3 consecutive... Jeez, that's bad. That is bad. So, I was thinking with Pavati having had her quest done, we might swap her out for someone else. Maybe take the Sawbones out with us. Index of Banned Literature. And then the OSI prayer beads that we found. Over this side, I assume this is Felix's place. Terror on the Monarch. Felix's journal, yeah. I figured I should start writing my thoughts down, just in case I ever start losing my mind. There's not a huge amount of stuff here, but... comics, posters, and In Praise of Arson? And violence is not the answer, violence is the question. The answer is yes. Yeah, we'll take the Sawbones out first of all, I think. I wonder where Felix actually is. Oh, he's sat over there. Okay. This must be Ellie's room. Yeah, trauma kit. And some drugs. A bullet-ridden leather jacket. It's distressed. Yeah, tell me about it. Mysterious bottle of hooch for disinfecting equipment. Okay, looks like there's plenty more stuff we can find to occupy. And obviously this has not been filled in. Okay.
Taking it easy?
Hardly. I'm going through looting your rooms.
Good to see you,
Felix. How did you end up on the Groundbreaker?
Didn't I tell you? I'm secretly the chairman's orphan child, abandoned at birth in the back bays.
Yeah. Give me a straight answer.
Honestly, before you picked me up, I was living in the back bays. Spent my whole life up there, watching ships roll in and take off. I always wondered when my ship would come. I was what folks on the Groundbreaker call a stowaway. Means I was invisible. Life carried on for everybody else, but not for me. I had to make my own way.
At least you weren't obliged to anyone else.
Stowaways ain't free. We were just as trapped as anybody else. We didn't belong in the system, but we still had to live in it. We still had to play by the board's rules.
Yeah, that
Imagine
can't be
spending
easy.
your whole life looking out at the stars and knowing you could never aspire to be anything more than a box hauler. That's what it's like.
Oh, well, it sounds pretty rough. But where did you find work?
Hauling boxes was about the only work I could find. Hated every second of it. The foreman and I never got on.
That was the incident with the tossball stick.
Could be I was overreacting. A better man might have turned the other cheek. Exercised a little bit of that, what's the word? Restraint? But on the other hand, broadsiding the jackass with a tossball stick, that felt good. That felt real good. You ought to try it.
I've got my own hammer, so... Oh! If I had a high enough melee skill, I would have been able to say, right, couldn't you have been diplomatic about it?
Yeah, I mean, in theory. But I wouldn't have felt half as good. I caught a real lucky break. If you hadn't picked me up, I'd still be back at the docks, waiting for the day my ship arrives.
If I hadn't picked you up, you would be in a prison cell.
Oh yeah. I had a prison cell back on the Groundbreaker. Carved my name on the wall. I wonder if it's still there. Thanks for listening, boss. Let's get going.
Cool. And Ellie, we'll have a little chat with you as well.
This Roseway business smells.
Mm-hmm.
Something tells me things didn't end well for the guy who made the distress call. And whoever or whatever got him will be waiting for us.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. So, what are you suggesting?
Just a little caution. Could be a reason no one's picked up this job yet.
Yep. Someone needs help, Ellie, and we're going to give it to them.
If you say so. I'm keeping a finger on the trigger all the same. Anyway, we might as well take a look out there. See if we can get the jump on whoever's waiting for us.
Okay, I think we're gonna gear Ellie up. So let's do that now. If we take Pravati's... Actually, Pravati's stuff's fine. We could take off the armor, potentially. I think you can't remove a helmet once you've put it on, which is kind of interesting. Could give you the welding goggles. No, I want the welding goggles to be available. Let's give you the hack. Yeah, we'll give you the hack helmet. And these are basically the same entirely. So, Ellie. Right now you've got tech skills +5. Let's give you tech skills plus... Oh, but that's got more armor on it. Okay. Feel like we can give you a decent helmet to come along. You certainly look the part. I am happy enough with that for you. Decent pistol. Decent enough knife. Let's go to Roseway. Okay, so we need to investigate Terra 2. Actually, you know what? There we go. We could go to Phineas' lab first and try and get the science weapon from there. Which is not a terrible plan. Let's do that first.
Now arriving at
Phineas's top secret orbital lab.
Where we're totally going to loot the place.
Do return in one piece.
Right, Pavati, you are out. Ellie, you are in for right now. I wonder what this place is going to be like. Let's have a quick look at the map. Okay, looks like it's relatively small.
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work?
Yep, I can hear you.
Damn it, blast, that's loud.
So the answer is yes, but I don't think you can... Oh, maybe we can talk back through this? I guess not. Let's loot the area first before heading into the lab. You never know what's going to be around. Well, this is actually going to take some shunts. We need to improve our lockpicking skills. Ooh. Big ass heavy machine gun. Really nice helmet. Yeah, that's good. Can't get over to that side.
I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself.
Okay, while you're doing that, we've got tech skills and science at the moment. It might be better. It might be better to normally have the stealth stuff on, unless I know I'm going to need other bits. Just because of the bonus it gives us to lockpicking and stuff. I'll put this on just for a second. So stealthy.
Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since... in fact, I've never had a visitor.
Well, don't worry. I'm not here to rob the place. Oh, blimey. Really has kind of secured himself, hasn't he? Bubbles? Okay. Don't mind me. I'm just going to have a little look around at all the stuff that's going on. Look at this thing. That is one angry looking kitty. Is this a pig? I guess. This looks like some kind of escape pod, cryopod thing. Cyst pig. Totally taking the poster. I'm sure that'll go in the Sawbones room. What's this? Reminder by ladder. I feel like I should be able to get up there. Maybe we can jump on the cyst pig. Okay, not very practical. Obscure body in the SK system. Yeah, that's not going to get us up. Okay, well. Hibernation chamber. This is... you spent over 4 decades in space with nothing but the technology of this little chamber keeping you alive. The rest of your fellow colonists are still trapped.
Reviving you from hibernation was my greatest accomplishment. Your odds of survival were a mere 28%. Ah, hibernation mask. Had to remove it, you know, in case you were prone to vomiting.
And what's this? Dehibernation experimentation notes. Raising core temperature another 5 degrees C over 1 hour. Dosage appears to be working. Slight diffs from processes and cyst pigs not beyond expected boundaries. Microscopic assessment shows no sign of sudden traumatic mast cell wall collapse. Encouraging! Reminder, still need to mop up pig. Need to get a view into cranium to see what's going on with neurons. Oops, hand slip. Likely effects? Nothing important. May have numbness in left heel. Who even needs that? Looking at sample, evidence of hyperactive production of dopamine and neuroperipherin. Curious. No evidence of entropic effects on neurons, however. Very excited. Now, if only I can keep them from exploding. Raising core temperature another 5 degrees C, 1 hour. Oops, forgot I had probe and brain jostled with elbow. Subject myself on numbness in right earlobe. Acceptable. Feel ridiculous telling mostly frozen slab of meat you're doing fine. Practicing bedside manner important. Aids recovery. Curious about the neurochemical production. Side effects of prolonged hibernation. Subject may experience tachypsychia. Exaggerated fight or flight response. Check brainwave. Found sharp uptick in perceptive cognitive processing when I jostled the probe. Fascinating. Equivalent to speed of common fly's brain. Could be useful in stressful situations. Subjective time dilation. See world moving in slow motion. Would everyone from Hope have this sort of brain damage? Is it peculiar? Can't wait to awaken more from the Hope. Study them in detail. Is it even right to call this effect brain damage? Seems like an enhancement. Who wouldn't want to call on hyperfast cognitive response? Am I envious? To expand the size of a breath to an eternity? To be able to, just for a moment, to perceive the world in all its infinite detail? Core temperature is up, still stable. No signs of cell wall decay. Neurological necrosis. Beginning next 5 degrees C over 1 hour. Yes, I do believe I envy you. I can calculate the movement of Evelyn bodies, but not the madness of men. Alright, let's have a look at the experimental notes. Oh, the cyst pig notes. Right, we'll start with the oldest experiment. Artificial stasis successfully induced in cyst pig specimen. Revivification completed. Cyst pig tissue returned to living state. Brain tissue suffered from rapid nucleation. Attempting treatment. Treatment progressing. Treatment failed. Brain tissue irreparably damaged by rapid onset necrosis. And then at 8:51, explosive cell death. 9:49, which is almost an hour later, finished cleaning liquefied remains of cyst pig from laboratory floor, walls, and equipment. Okay. The next experiment. Fresh out of Auntie Cleo's experimenting with Spacer's Choice partially emulsified creamer substitute. Finished brewing, added 2 ounces of Spacer's Choice. Atrocious. Felt part of self die on the inside. Reminder, add Spacer's Choice to the list. Note to self number 2, buy more mouthwash. And then the next experiment. Eureka! Flash frozen organic material reverts back to its original cell structure when treated with a tincture of dimethyl sulfoxide. Rate of explosive cell death, very respectable 6%. Bad news, difficult to acquire, limited quantities of compound, likely produced by Auntie Cleo. Recently discontinued due to severe adverse reactions. Must find more. And then the cyst pig notes itself. Have spared one of my stock of experiment 6 pigs to be used as a renewable source of nourishment. Have named the lucky pig Bubbles. Giving an animal a name establishes rapport and creates a positive emotional bond. Allegedly improves the flavour of the tumours. Must look into that. Excellent creatures, cysty pigs. Don't know how people used to survive without these genetic wonders of porcine succulence. Slaughtering a pig for meat instead of harvesting tumours that ripen naturally, falling off the flesh like mock apples off a tree. Seems the height of barbarity. Truly such a miracle of modern science. I would love something like this. I would keep a cysty pig. And any of the personnel files. Ooh. Password required. Well, let's bypass that. Password SWH 181942. Personnel logs. Have procured the service of one Captain Alex Hawthorne of the Unreliable. I hope it didn't name his ship after the quality of his services. I'll be sending my new accomplice down to Hawthorne via escape pod as soon as the revival process is complete. Hawthorne should make for an agreeable companion. or at least an acceptable chaperone. Law willing, he isn't a total buffoon. So this hasn't told us anything that we didn't already know. But it did give us an opportunity to use some of our skills. Is this a shrink ray?
Aha! I see you found my portable molecular compression device, better known.
I'm sorry, I need this equipped right now. Oh, it's tiny DPS. But it has 100 magazine size. We're gonna have to tinker with it. We're gonna have to tinker with it and try and make it better. Because that is too low damage.
As a shrink ray. Find a target, point, shoot. Your target will shrink down into a manageable size, whereupon you may commence beating them to a pulp. Feel free to try it on a marauder sometime.
Can I try it on Bubbles? I suspect I probably can try it on Bubbles, but I shouldn't try it on Bubbles. Ooh. Yeah, gonna loot everything for extras. I'm sure that's all going to be nice and useful. A hoof. Sure someone will have a nice tasty snack from that. Spare plasma rifle, anything up the top? Lots of plans. A big board of intelligence. A pocket watch. Interesting. And another terminal. This is the comms terminal. Right, messages. Password required. Let's hack it again. Same password. To H. Blythe. Sending no response. Sending no response. Cause undetermined. Original message sent on. Okay. Error. Brand data not found. Contact your nearest terminal engineer. I worked it out. Explain details later. It will be difficult to reproduce. Need your help. All necessary materials should be present in Halcyon, but locations elude me. Dumped a new associate dirt side Terra 2 near Edgewater. They have a stake in my purpose, but trusting them was only about 23.7%. That's quite high, given they didn't know what I'm like. They're recovering a ship, should be along any time, just need to know where to send them. Let me know when you get this, eager to be done.
Careful, that's my communications terminal.
Yeah, which clearly isn't working properly. Yeah, there's no one else in the various hibernation pods. Reminder, extinguish plasma cutter before returning to pocket. I love these little notes just dotted around everywhere. Okay, that's all. So he's got himself sealed in. I guess we're gonna have to talk to him through his little talkie contraption.
Oh, thankful law. Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed color. Potential side effect of the revival process. Very rare, but you never know.
Thanks, Wells.
Right. Welcome to my little habitation, such as it is. I've got caffeinoids, cysty bits, if you're into that sort of thing. So, welcome. Make yourself at home. My secret hideout is your secret hideout.
Well, I've looted what I wanted. Any chance you could repair that monitoring device?
The one I gave you before your pod landed? Ruined, beyond repair. Impossible to find replacement parts. That's Halcyon Manufacturing for you.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. I'm reasonably certain you're not going to spontaneously expire.
Reasonably
no need to monitor
certain.
your recovery.
Alright, thanks, Wells. Well, that reminds me, I appreciate you pulling me out of the Hope.
Not at all, my intrepid accomplice. I should thank you for tolerating my somewhat brusque manner. I only regret that I couldn't save more of your fellow settlers, what with being hunted by the board, and emptying my supply of necessary chemicals.
Well, let's
Of course.
see what else we can talk to him about.
What's on your mind?
Is there a reason you're hiding behind bulletproof glass?
Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. The unexpected is to be treasured, but from a safe distance.
But why would you have
Regardless,
the
it's
exit
quite comfortable in
on
here,
the
you know.
other
I have
side?
my beans, have my caffeinoids, plenty of toilet paper.
Okay, well, sure. I'll be back. We don't need to really have any further conversation with him. We got the shrink ray. We got the shrink ray, which is the main reason for us coming over here. We're going to want to keep our eyes peeled for other science weapons. And there's no tinkering option here, so I think we're going to have to tinker on the ship. I would be very curious to see how it works. Like, if it actually shrinks things down, or if it's just like a plink-plink gun. So, over here. Tinker on this. Yeah, we can put the damage up quite significantly, so... 29, 31, 34, up to 36, 39, up to 42, and I think that'll probably do for now. It makes it at least as good as the other weapons that we have for what we're trying to do. I'm sure the various posters and things that we've put around are going to have been dropped into people's rooms. There's our little power converter. Just have a quick check upstairs. Yeah, it's just the toilet. Nothing to consider in there. Nothing in the fridges. Interestingly, Ellie didn't end up with all the posters in here. That is a surprise. Oh, they've come over here. I wonder who the other person's going to be. I'm also curious where the pocket watch has ended up. Is the pocket watch in here? No, I don't see it. Not in Felix's room. That panel wasn't off the floor last time we came in. Maybe it's going to be in our
So
room.
then I says, fine, I'll pay you back for all of it. With interest.
Nice one. You must have had them quaking in their heels.
I mean, I wasn't really gonna do it. I just wanted to make him feel bad.
Pay you back with interest. I gotta remember that one.
Yeah,
It
Felix.
felt better if it had worked.
Well, perhaps the pocket watch is actually just something to be sold. It might just be in our junk. But it's good to see that the posters have ended up somewhere worthwhile. Alright. So, choices. If we go for the doom that came to Roseway, and the distress signal and stuff like that, I think those are the next best plan for us. So heading to Terra 2. And we'll go for the Roseway landing pad, of course.
We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
Ooh, look at that. Terra 2, doesn't it look good? And out we go. We're going to keep the Vicar and we're going to keep Ellie. And this doesn't look terribly dangerous.
No security. Not that I'm complaining.
Interesting. Looks pretty straightforward. Let's have a look at the terminal. Insert captain's identification cartridge to initiate remote landing. Okay, so this is just to pull a ship across from somewhere else. Well, I don't see any obvious threats. I'd like to find like a wild canid or something that I can just give a little pop to with the shrink ray and see if it's any good. For now, though, let's just head down carefully and see what we can find. Oh yeah, bunch of vending machines down here. Also a bunch of supplies, so this place probably isn't completely abandoned. Let's sell our junk. Bypass shunt. Very happy to have that. And actually, you know what? Let's put our armor back on. For right now, we'll go big armor and big helmet. We don't need lockpick skills right at this moment. We can always switch back if we find something that needs picking. Sounds like a sprat somewhere. I see you. Okay, that felt like it was a little pathetic.
Subtle work, Captain.
Then again, just took a moment to actually fire. Broken mechanical sentry. And another. That gives me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies. I thought there might be like a secret way underneath or something, but doesn't look like it. Free supplies though. Never going to complain about those. Oh, I wonder what range this has. We need another sprat target. That's what we need. Or this thing. Alright, that's a reasonable range. Let's back up a little. course I had to be behind the rock. That is the worst place.
Down they go!
Pretty effective. Leather boa hide. I don't think that was really in a salvageable state by the time the shrink ray hit it. So yeah, it's definitely not shrinking. 100% not shrinking. It is just destroying, which I'm fine with. That's kind of what we want. Yeah. Okay, well, I think this is going to be a good point to finish this episode off. Thank you very much for coming along, everyone. I do hope you have enjoyed this. As always, if you have, be sure to give a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so, and you'll be told when the next episode goes live. Otherwise, I'll see you next time for another episode of The Outer Worlds. See you soon.